Good evening, everyone. This is the day 7 of MERN series. I'm Ravi Kumar, and today I'll show you how we can basically update our books in our database, and also we'll see how we can delete our books if we do not want an unnecessary books. But today I'm not going to test it, so I'll only implement the code today, and tomorrow will basically there will be a separate video wherein read we'll get to know how we can read the book, how we can basically create a book, or how we can uh, update and delete the books. Basically will be perform the CRUD operations from tomorrow. Today this is the video, specific video for the purpose that is to how we can basically implement the code. So let me share the screen. So I think my screen is visible right now. And this is the agenda of my server is running already. So I'll show you first. Yesterday we have already seen that how we can create the books and how we can basically get the books. Read the books. Today we'll see how we can update and delete our books in our router. So process is same, but we'll see how we can do that. So I'll say let me just. Okay, cool. So let's say it should be my book router, and I'll add that is to update a book you need to add a method. We need a method that is patch, and after then I'll say slash update update, and I need to pass a async function here, and it will take two arguments, that is async function. And after then I need to code it inside the try catch block, so I'll say try catch block, and initially we'll handle the error, so I'll say, to be precise enough, I'll say rest.status. And if your book is not yet updated, you need to provide a specific code. So for this moment, I'll provide this rest.status 500 JSON and the error message, whichever the message will get. And I'll say now to update a book, you need a very you need to go with. Let me just open my compass, so I'll show you. Um, Mongo compass. I'll go to my Mongo compass and I'll go to my ENB in case if I need, and I'll say, I'll copy this and go to my router. Let's go to the, okay, this is already logged. So I'll say, I'll connect my at Mongo URI. Yes. So you can see that this is my database book management system. And I have two collections here. One you have already seen, that is users, for to store the users credentials. And yesterday we were able to create our we were successfully able to create a book. So the book data will get stored in the book libraries collection. You can see that's the book which if you want to update a book in your database, and if you want to delete your book, you need the specific ID to delete that book. You can't access it with the help of their title, because there might be a possibility that in your database, if you have 1 million of books in your database, and 10 books might be a possibility that you have 10 books of with the same name, same initials. Then you might get be confused that which one you want to delete. So you need to be precise enough and to be more careful about about your operations. Whatever you wanted to perform on a specific books, you can simply access them with their correspondent ID. So I'll say I need to access this ID first. So how can I do that? I'll say there is a there's a term called request.params when which we will get from the when we wanted to update, when we are going to perform the CRUD operations, we need to provide that ID over there. And how can I get that ID? I need just like we are sending a request body, we need to send that particular ID as well to update that book. So I'll say request dot or and I with the help of this structure, I'll say, and every ID uh, will go will get stored in the request params. So I'll say params, request params, and request params. Okay. And how can I update it? Well, that is very simple. So I'll say update book. Let's say update book. I'll say await. I'll use keyword await, and I'll say books model book models dot. And how can we update that? That is the question. So I'll say find by. We need to find it by their ID, respected ID. So I'll say find by ID, and what we wanted to do, that is update. Now I need to pass that ID, and yes, we are done. And let's see. Hmm, I need to send it as a response. So I'll say status 200. I'll say JSON, and I'll pass my message inside this. So I'll say message. Message should be um, book updated, book updated successfully, and to be very specific with the respective ID, I can also say this in the form of backdates. I'll say the book updated successfully with ID, and I'll pass this ID. And yes, we are done with the um, we are that is how we can update our books. And I'll say data. I can also provide that which book I have already updated. So I'll basically use this variable to show here that I've updated this book. And this is how we can update the book. And to basically delete a book, we can simply just copy this, and I need to change here that which method we are using. That is the uh, delete, and we need to change the route as well. So I'll say delete, and ID is the same. We need to access. We need the ID, and here I'll change the variable. So I'll say book, uh, delete book. I'll say delete book, and after then I'll say find by ID and delete, and I need to pass that ID here. And here in the message section, I'll say a book deleted deleted successfully with ID, and I'll say delete book. And yes, we are done. So this is something we want that. So so today we have learned how we can basically update our books and delete the books at the same time. Route can be the same, and endpoint you need to be careful about it. And whichever the method you are using, specific method, that necessary method you need to provide here. And at the same time, you need to be specific about whichever method you want to use to find that book, and what you want with that. You want to update, whether you want to update or whether you want to delete it. So this is it for today. Tomorrow there will be a separate video wherein I will only show you how we will perform will test this API, the whole API which we have already created so far yet. So yeah, thank you everyone.